What is up, guys? Chris here, the Unprofessional Dad, and I am back with another knife video. Yesterday I put out a video. It was about my best knives of 2025. Now, somebody asked me a question. They wanted to know how I came up with the best knives. And it wasn't a list of the best knives released, like the best knives in a certain lock or a certain knife material or at a certain price. There are plenty of knives that I didn't even have a chance to experience that were probably better in a lot of ways. They were best knives for me, like the best knife for sentimental reasons, or the best knife that had the best story with it. They were just my personal best knives that I got to connect with, that I got to experience. They were knives that I have. I can't talk about knives that I don't have. So they were literally just the best knives for me. My best knives of 2025. And it didn't matter how I came up, what it might have been a story that so when I was thinking about it, I didn't really, like, it didn't matter for me, like the blade steels, or I just didn't put anything into that. I just put into what the knives meant to me, how much I enjoyed them, how much I looked forward to them, different things like that. I appreciate all the feedback. It's been a really positive experience. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Some really good comments. Daniel, I appreciate what you said big time. Trust me, it means a lot to me. So thank you guys. Now, another person that is really, really important and a good friend. Actually, there's two of them. It's Ken and his partner, Vicky. Ken Faulkner and his partner, Vicky. I got to hang out with them at Blade Show in Atlanta. Fantastic salt of the earth people. I know people don't use that term salt of the earth very much anymore. But let me tell you, it 100% describes them. They are salt of the earth, rock solid, just good people. You know, I talk to my boys all the time. You know, character goes so far. You know, you might only get to meet somebody for 5 minutes in your life, and you might never know them again or never meet them again. If they think back on you, how are they going to think back on you? Are they going to think of, oh man, that, like, they were rude, or they were arrogant, or whatever? Or how are they going to think of? Let me tell you something. I got to meet Ken and Vicky, and if I never meet them again, I'll look back on them and be very, very fond of that experience. So it was fun at Blade Show. But Ken made a comment that he wanted to, he likes, because he's at a different part of his journey. He's all about the heat, so to speak. He's all about the really, just the knives that are on another level. I didn't show a whole bunch of those. I could have, but I didn't. Because I wanted to touch on a broad range, and a lot of people can't get those knives. So I wanted to show knives that different people can experience. And but this video is going to be all about the heat. There's going to be some awesome knives in this video, so I hope you guys appreciate it. All right, so these are the most incredible knives that I got to experience in 2025. And I don't use incredible lightly. These knives are insane. I'm going to start off with one that you guys have seen on my channel many times. This was the first one. I got this back around March. This is my first Sebenza. It is the Forever Flag, titanium handles, frame lock. I love this thing. It is the small Sebenza 31 Forever Flag. When I first got it, I was a little disappointed because of how small it is. I need the full size. I want the full size Sebenza. I like larger knives. So I was a little disappointed with how big it was, but I'm going to tell you, even the small 31 is still so well made. It's such a good knife. I mean, this thing is fantastic. You can really see why Chris Reeve's knives are so... Listen, Lone Star Knife and Tool, he put a thing out on TikTok, like a poll or whatever, just a conversation, a topic, a question. Are Chris Reeve's knives, are Sebenzas still as important, or do they still hold the same stature and standing in the knife community? as they used to. And there was different answers. I gave my answer and stuff like that, and I won't get into that here, but I'm going to tell you right now, I love these. I love seeing the Chris Reeves booth at Blade Show. It was fantastic. A hollow grind knife. He had, these knives are so good. The grind work on this, the blade shape, the handle material, the ergonomics, everything about this is fantastic. But I got to see a lot of his knives. I really want an Inkosi really bad. I got to check out a large Inkosi recently, and I'm going to tell you, oh my gosh, I love that. I won't say I like it more than the Sebenza, but man, I like it a lot. So the Chris Reeves Sebenza Forever Flag. Another knife that I was really excited about getting, and I did get this at Blade Show. This is my very first Hinderer. I love the Hinderer. It is fantastic. Now, I have the Zero Tolerance 0562 carbon fiber, the Hinderer edition, and it's a lot like this. It's very similar. The ergonomics are the same. It feels the same and stuff. So you can tell that he definitely designed it. But there's nothing like having an actual Hinderer in your hands. Now, this is the one that they're calling a liner lock. It's basically a nestled frame lock. They take these really, really thin scales. These scales will not fit on a normal Hinderer because the normal Hinderers, the liners are not this thick. So these just wouldn't fit. When I talked to them at Blade Show, they told me that that's basically what this was. Now, when I've showed this, people have said, oh, that's a liner lock, that's a liner lock. And I guess you can consider this a liner lock because there is an outside scale on this. But they told me out of their own mouth, this is basically a nestled frame lock. And yes, I know, War Room, I do have the pocket clip tip down. You guys know me, I don't shy away from it. I just don't alter my knives a lot. I just don't. However they come out of the box, that's how they stay. Unless it has to be something really like a big deal for me to change it. Like the pocket clip on a Chavez, I'm changing it. Not all the time, but sometimes. But this is awesome. S45 VN. I like the spay blade. I like the ergonomics. This thing is fantastic. And the fact that I got this at Blade Show, I mean, wow. That knife is incredible. I will always have this knife. That is an important knife for me right there. I'm wanting to show you guys a bunch of different stuff. Let me see. All right, let's take this knife. No, I'll come to that knife here in a minute. This right here. Look at that right there. Now, I've wanted a Spartan Harsey so bad I can't even explain it. I love the Egyptian model. Hey boys, tone it down. I'm doing a video. Yes, sir. I love the Egyptian model one. I didn't even know they had this as an option. And when I saw this, the person actually had a couple of this very one. It was insane. This is a frame lock, titanium frame lock. This is the Sasquatch or Bigfoot variant. Damascus blade steel, Spartan Harsey. I mean, come on. That's all you got to say. Look at this thing. That ain't cheap. That ain't cheap. I mean, that is just fantastic. Look at that knife. I don't even know what to say about this. Ergonomics are so daggone good. I did not think the ergonomics would be this great. I should have known that because I had this, I showed this in that other video, the Astor, and how good the ergonomics on this are. I just love it. And I should have known that because they're very similar. The ergonomics on this are just like it. I mean, your hand just molds around the daggone scales and handles. It feels so good. I love this knife. This is fantastic. Great action. It is a heavier knife, but that thing is beautiful. You want to talk about a work of art? That right there is a work of art. This is an experience more than it is a knife. Let me tell you. I mean, it's a knife, obviously, but it's also an experience. people that can't convince me that Bigfoot ain't real because I'm holding it in my hand right here, you know. That's awesome. Okay. I gave one of these away. This is a little bit different than the one I gave away. I showed this in a video. This is the PM Mac 2, McNees PM Mac 2, with the acid wash blade and magna cut, titanium handles, frame lock. I showed this, and Michael Kinser reached out and he said, hey, I've got one of those. It's got some lock stick and stuff. I've got several of them. I'm going to send it to you. And, you know, honestly, he sent it to me. He said, do whatever you want with it. Keep it, whatever. Sell it, use it for the channel, however you want to. He was that generous and kind with me, and I appreciate it so much. And what I decided to do was use it for a giveaway. I already had this one. I didn't need another one. So I wanted to pay his kindness forward, so we gave it away. And I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better person. Master Sergeant 1. I'm so thankful and thrilled that he did. I appreciate and respect Master Sergeant so much. So he got him a Mac 2 as well. A little bit different than this one. He had the frag pattern. I've got the wave pattern. But it's just an awesome knife. I got this again. This came back around March, April. Now, what I don't like about this smaller PM McNees Mac 2, and I'm just going to tell you, I cannot open it in my right hand. It's in the right hand configuration. It's a right hand knife. I cannot open it. Just can't do it because my hands have to it takes so much to push it open. And by then, I'm putting too much pressure on the frame lock. And I've heard a lot of people having these issues with these McNees PM Mac 2s. I've heard a lot of people have this issue. Now, if I hold it in my left hand, boom, no problem, snappy, good action. But in my right hand, I still to this day cannot open this knife. I love the knife, but I wish it was bigger for that reason. But other than that, just a fantastic knife. You can definitely tell the quality and craftsmanship that goes in. Just like Chris Reeves, these things are so well made. My hands are just big, and I just don't hold it well, and I put too much pressure on the frame lock. So it is what it is. That's my problem, not the knives. You know, people say, oh, well, I wouldn't want a knife that costs that much, and I can't even open it. You know, the knife is the way the knife is. That's on me, not the knife. You know, it's like, you know, if you bought a car that was purple, and it was purple when you bought it, and you get it home and you're like, man, I don't like that purple. Well, it's not the car's fault. The car was purple when you bought it. The McNees PM Mac 2 is the same size now that it was when I ordered it. When I ordered this, this was the knife that it was. It wasn't like they sent me a different knife than I ordered. This is the exact knife that I ordered, so I can't hate on the knife. It's exactly what it was. I got exactly what I paid for, and I ordered. So once I got it there, so that's always been my outlook and perception on that stuff. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's the way I look at it. You know, the knife is the knife. If I can't work with the knife, that's an issue with me, because the knife can't change what it is. It is what it is. So if that makes sense. Let's follow it up with another McNees though. This is the Dixon. I don't have no problem with this on the right hand with this one. This is all that this is as far as quality and craftsmanship. This is on another level, and I love this thing. Again, the acid wash, I love it. I love that hollow grind magna cut blade, titanium frame lock handles. I heard some people talking about this, and somebody did a post on TikTok about this, and they was complaining about a few things, saying that they didn't like a few different things about the knife, and I just disagree. I think that this is now all of a sudden I'm having trouble opening it with my right hand. Never had trouble opening the right hand. Now I am, because now I'm thinking about it. But I think it's a fantastic knife. Ergonomics are great. I like the thumb ramp right there. I wish it was jimped, but I know what they're going for. I like the thumb hole. I love that hollow grind. I mean, these hollow grind knives, they look so good. They're such good cutters. They're thicker blades, so they're workhorses, but that hollow grind just makes them slicey as all get out. So this has great ergonomics. It feels good in the hand. It's a beautiful knife, and I love it. I love the PM Mac too, but the Dixon is definitely, in my opinion, far better of the two. It is just a great knife, and this is on washers, so, or not washers, but I think this is on bearings. I mean, instead of washers. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is on bearings. So it just has really snappy and smooth action, just good action. I like this one a lot, the Dixon. I experienced some Spydercos this year, the 15Vs and stuff like that. This is one that I didn't even know that this existed. I just learned about it recently. This is the Spyderco Tough, Tuff. It is a fantastic knife. I love the ergos on this. You can choke up. I love that jimp thumb ramp. Typical Spyderco, great ergonomics, jimp thumb ramps, typical. But look at those fullers on this blade, how good that blade looks. Now this is a 3V blade. This is a workhorse. This is a beater knife that is in the build of a premium quality knife, but it's a beater knife. This is a workhorse. That's why it's called Tough. Now it's got this really cool titanium frame lock on one side, and it's got G10 on the other. Just an awesome knife. I mean, this thing is fantastic. Great action. It is a heavier knife, beautiful knife. The ergos on it is great. You want to talk about a beater knife? Right here is a beater knife. This thing is fantastic. But this isn't the only Spyderco that I didn't know about. This one right here also, I mean, this thing is just, look at that thing. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Now this has got titanium liners, so it's titanium. It's technically a liner lock. S30V blade. This thing is awesome. Look at that orange spacer. This is just beautiful. Look at that blade. When I got this, somebody, and I showed the review on this, somebody's like, yeah, I like that, but I like the Canset Tipper. And I can see why they would say that, because the Canset Tipper has a blade that is kind of similar. But this right here is where it's at, right? I mean, look at this thing. This is just awesome. It's just awesome. The daggone name is slipping my mind right now. What is the name on this thing? There's two of these knives that right now I can already think. This other one over here, the name is slipping my mind. I've said them a million times. A million times. I've wrote them down a million times, and I still keep forgetting their daggone names. And here in just a second, I'll think of this. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's the Spyderco, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. We'll come back to that, but this thing is awesome. S30V blade, great ergos, a big slicey, just, I mean, look at that thing. It's almost like a cleaver. Just an awesome knife. Let's go with this. Never been into autos. I've never showed OTFs on the channel, just never been into them. This thing though is insane. This is the Combat Troodon 3, Gen 3. This is the comic strip purple. It is awesome. Now this has Bowler M390 MK blade steel. So you want to talk about edge retention. The edge retention on this thing is going to be awesome. Look at that. These things are sold out everywhere. They're hard to get your hands on. It comes in the dagger and another blade style. This is the dagger, of course. I mean, the action on this, I can see why these things are so daggone sought after and people love them so much. The action on a Microtech OTF is just insane. It's awesome. Now, are there other ones out there, other brands that have good OTFs with good action? Absolutely. I'm not saying that it's better than any other ones. I'm just saying I don't deal with OTFs a lot. But I can see why people do, because that is really cool. It's satisfying, it's fidgety, but I mean, it's crisp. That's some good action right there. I like it better than I do the autos that I have. That thing is awesome. Bowler M390 MK. That is a cool daggone knife. Don't carry it. You know, I have once. I can't find myself using this thing. I don't want to scratch the paint off. I don't want to mar it up. It's just too pretty. It's a work of art. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This is the other knife that the name of it, OG, something OG. I can't think of the daggone name. I'm sorry. I'll link it in the description. This is a Wii, titanium and fat carbon handles. Look at that. Ooh. Frame lock. Man, you want to talk about a nice daggone knife. Wow. Look at that. That is beautiful. I love the swedge on this blade too. These things ain't cheap. You know, we knives, you know, they're made in China, but I'm going to tell you, they keep up with American-made knives. Now, yes, American-made knives, there's a lot of good quality about them. The McNees, the Chris Reeves, the Hinderers and stuff like that. Obviously, those are awesome. They're American-made. They're all titanium, stuff like that. They do well. But these knives, like these Wies and stuff, and Chavez and different things like that, these ain't no slouch knives. These things are fantastic. Nice jump thumb ramp. Feels good in the hand. What's up, buddy?
Can I use the charger in there?
In the living room, there's a charger in there. Actually, Abel's got it in the bedroom. You're all right, buddy. But great knife right here. Great knife. Fantastic. I love it. Now, I forgot the name of this. Like I said, I'll link it in the description below. But this, I mean, you're not looking at a cheap knife right there by any means. And I've got a few Wii knives. The Bougie Banter. I mean, I've got a few Wii knives, and I really like them. But this is definitely on another level. This thing is just fantastic. The action is so crisp and clean and smooth. It feels so good in the hand. I like how thin it is too. It's thin, and look at that geared spacer. That titanium geared spacer. That's just awesome. What a great knife. What a great knife. Now, a knife that I'd always heard about and never was able to check out was this right here. The Koenig Arius or however you say it. This thing is awesome. This is another one of those with titanium frame lock handles. Nice drop point with a good swedge and a hollow grind to make it super slicey. Now, the good thing about this is it's got CTS XHP blade steel. So that's going to be a good edge retention and good toughness. I mean, XHP blade steel, it's the tough blade steel. It's a good blade steel. It's not like a Goldilocks steel like a Magna-Cut or something, but it's a really good blade steel. And Koenig knives are expensive. These things are not cheap. Great ergonomics, feels good in the hand. I like the weight of them a lot. I like the geared spacer on this as well. I like the texture to the handles. If you'll see that pattern there, really good. It's not smooth. There is a pattern and a texture there, but I like that acid wash blade. All in all, fantastic knife. That is a really, really good knife. Koenig makes some good stuff. I'm really glad that I got to experience this thing because this is an awesome knife. What am I going to show next? Right, so had to stop there for a second, and it was getting a little loud. I had to tone them down. But all right, so two knives that I'll show really quick because I showed them in the best knives of 2025 is the AD20 XL. This has the MagnaCut blade, the textured titanium handles, great ergonomics. It does have the Demko shark lock. This is the best made knife ever made, in my opinion. This thing is just, this is such a good knife. I mean, it is such a good knife. I love it. The fact that you've got a knife this big and bulky and heavy, and it's still that fidgety and that fun, and the action is that, I mean, that's just insane. That Demko Shark Lock really is an incredible lock. Good jimping on the spine. It is a thicker blade, obviously. The AD20 XLs are fantastic. They are good knives. I like, you know, that you can choke up on it. A good blade, it's good and slicey. Just all in all, I mean, these things are rare. They're not rare, but you know, not everybody's got one. And getting one online, you know, hard to get them. So people don't want to come off these, and I can see why. I can definitely see why. That is a fantastic knife. Now, the other knife that I showed yesterday that I'll go ahead and run over with you guys is this right here. I still got to oil that pivot. This is obviously the XL Rosie. If I could only keep one knife of all these knives, I mean, it probably would be this one. I mean, I just have to be honest. It would be this one. This cutting with this is unlike. And this is an experience, like I was saying about that other knife. This is an experience that is so tight. I cut some cardboard that had some tape and stuff on it, and I need to maintenance this thing really bad and get that taken care of. But I like the wave pattern on the titanium frame lock. I like the pocket clip, but the ergonomics and the thin slicey blade are what makes this knife what it is. That's a MagnaCut blade, and you want to talk about here. Let me see. This thing is just, it's not like anything else. It's this. I wish this was cardboard so I could really show you. This is just, it really is. That's me, not the paper, or not the knife. I'm making it look horrible. You guys know I can't cut this stuff. I can't cut paper. I never have been able to cut paper. But when I cut that cardboard, this zipped through it like there was no resistance at all. And it was a thick cardboard box, and it was just like, I didn't even have to press hardly. It just went through it like nothing. I've always heard how good these are, and once you get one in your hands and you check it out and experience it, you'll find out how good they are. Man, that action is terrible. I got to get that fixed. But yeah, the XL Rosie is, I won't say it's the best knife on the table. I will not. I'm just saying for EDC and for using, if you're actually wanting to use a knife, to carry a knife and use a knife, it's thin. So it's not going to be overwhelming and bulky. Now, I'm all about this knife right here because of how big and bulky it is. But this knife right here is not slicey like this knife is. This I could do things with that I wouldn't do with this. But this, I think, is just a better all-around EDC knife. You could use this for a beater knife or whatever. I wouldn't. It's just too pretty. It's a work of art. But this is just... Anybody that's got a Rosie knows what I mean. It's hard to put these into words. I don't even know how to put what I'm saying into words. It's that good. You've just got to use one to feel it and to understand. All of these knives that I've used, and they're all great. This one over here I'm about to show you has the action unlike any you'll ever see. This one over here has the coolest look, man. On and on and on. Different ones have just different things going for them. But overall, this knife right here is just the best user knife on the table, in my opinion. It really is. It's insane. And if I could only keep one knife that I was going to use and do my EDC just all the way around, it would be this probably. It's that good. All right. Well, let's get to that knife with the action. Right there. The Herman Dragonfly. This is a Herman Dragonfly. Titanium handles. It is a liner lock. But the liner lock is, the way that they do it is just so cool. The action on this is... I've done videos on this, and I've kind of showed the action on how good this is. It just... you really just gotta... The action on this is just... I don't even know how to put it into words. I don't know the right words for this stuff. This is incredible. Now, it's M398. It's the only knife that I've got in M398. So it's not going to be as tough as the M390, but it's going to have a little bit... it's going to have really good edge retention. Really good edge retention. It's not, like I said, not going to be as tough, but this isn't designed to be a tough beater knife. This is designed to be an action knife, excellent action, excellent EDC for slicey capabilities, stuff like that. Use a knife for what it's worth. You wouldn't take a sledgehammer and try to drive, small tacks into your wall. You got to use the right tools for the right job. And this is a very fidgety, excellent action EDC knife with good edge retention. Definitely far and away, like, I can say this, and you can't, you just don't understand, because I've watched videos, people talking about action, and that right there, it looks like any other knife. All right, take this knife. Now take this knife. They both look the same thing. Both of them look like they're snapping right out. So it's hard to convey on the camera how good that is. You really have to feel it. Like, you can literally feel it in here. You can feel that, how smooth that is. The way that I've described it before is, you ever seen at the nuclear blast bunkers where they have those doors that are 100 tons? They're like 3 foot thick, and one person can literally push them with one hand without moving. They are balanced so well, and their bearings are done the right way and everything else. So those big, huge blast doors at those big nuclear fallout shelters, one person can open them and close them, because even though they're that big and heavy and bulky, they're just made that well. And the engineering into the action and movement is that well. That's what this is like. That smooth action, you can feel it in there. It's that good. It's just insane. So the Herman Dragonfly is a knife that I can see why people spend a fortune on Hermans. Yeah, beautiful knife, work of art for sure. Louis the Knife Addict, I was asking him, I said, I've got a few knives, but I'm coming up with some money. I said, what can I get for $400 and I'm going to get the biggest bang for my buck? I didn't know a lot about knives, and I didn't know all the different brands and models at the time. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a year. I've been collecting for a couple years, about 2.5 years, but I was collecting cheaper knives I didn't know. And he said, hey, there's this brand called Quiet Carry, and you should get one called the Drift. And I said, okay, I'll check it out. Well, I did. And the Drift, all of them was sold out. I checked, they had the drift, what is it, LC or something like that, the drift LCT. They have several different versions of it, variants. And the one that I found that was available was the drift LCT, and it's the right one because it's the bigger one for me. Vanex super clean blade steel. This thing ain't gonna rust or corrode. It's awesome. This is meant for corroding, rusting situations where there's going to be a lot of moisture and you're going to have to deal with corrosion. This is just a fantastic knife. It's a frame lock, really nice titanium, 6AL4V titanium, the Vanex super clean blade steel. All in all, he was right on. Like, I have loved this knife. I'm going to say this. When you're talking about the action on this, or you're talking about this, the prices on these are a little different. So we're going to take those knives out of the equation. We're going to talk knives $500 and under. And I'm going to put Hinderers in there. I'm going to put all those knives in there, $500 and under. When you look at this, the way that this craftsmanship is and the way that it's made, this is made as well as any knife that I've got. It's just made well. It's beautiful. The tolerances are perfect. I mean, it's just so clean. The way that I describe that is this right here. The Lion Steel, when you start looking at the Lion Steel Mito and how well it's made, the craftsmanship and engineering, it's so well made in its price range, it's hard for knives to compare to that. The Drift LCT, Quiet Carry, it's the same exact way. Now, I'm not going to say that this is the best knife or the best knife in that $500 price range. I'm saying that when you look at it and you handle it and you hold it, it looks and feels like one of the best made knives that I've got in those price ranges. Now, again, I can only compare it to knives that I've got. So people say, well, not compared to a knife. I've got one that's $500 and it's a brand that I don't have and I haven't experienced it. So just against knives that I have and I've experienced, this is as good as any of them. The Drift LCT, I love it. And Louis, the knife addict, hit a home run with that. Boy, he was right on. He knew exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I needed. And he was right. This is the left-handed Umnazan that I talked about yesterday in that video. This is another hollow grind knife, so it's super slicey. Tanto version. I would have rather had, I said it a million times, I'd rather had the other version, but this Tanto works just fine. It is a titanium frame lock. It's got the frag pattern handles, magnet cut blade steel, and the Umnazan. I mean, I love the Sebenza, but it's hard for anything to compare to the Umnazan. This thing is just awesome. I love the Umnazan. I'm so glad I got it. But the biggest thing, the reason I like this so much is not only the knife, but it's the story, how everybody came together and helped me and went looking for me, and they found one and told me right after I posted the video that I wanted one. I mean, you guys went to work and you guys found this for me, and I appreciate that. So it's the story, it's everything that goes involved that I love this. But I just wanted to show this because, I mean, if you're showing a video about super nice knives and you don't put an Umnazan in there and you've got one, I mean, that's a problem because it belongs in this video. Only a few more. Let's look at this. Medford Praetorian. Look at this. It's got the glass titanium. It's got a glass look. They call it a glass look. I looked it up online and that's what I kept seeing about it, called a glass look. Hollow grind, beautiful knife. Insane. S45VN. It's beautiful. Elijah, tone it down. S45VN. This thing is just awesome. Frame lock. Look at that. That is beautiful. All right, I had to get onto him again, getting a little loud. But yeah, this thing is beautiful. Look at that. Medford Praetorian, this thing is awesome. I don't even know what this would run a person. I know that this is a very nice knife. It's heavy. It's bulky. It's the action is actually the action is all right to be as big as it is. It is definitely a big knife. I'll tell you that. A little hard to maneuver, not because it's got bad action. It's just so big. It's hard to use. My hands are big, and I still have a hard time holding this knife and flinging it around. I love the jimping on this, the way that he's got that jimping. Just a fantastic knife. Look at those fullers on that blade. This is another knife that is just a work of art. Another knife that I can't bring myself to use because it's just too daggone nice. Very slicey, very sharp, all the way around, a beautiful knife. Look at that spacer, how chunky that spacer is. You want to talk about, that's a glass breaker, window breaker. They used to call them skull crushers or nut crushers, like walnut crushers and stuff like that. Excellent knife, just beautiful, beautiful. Now, there's another Medford, and that is the USMC Fighting Flipper. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about amazing. This looks a lot like the USMC fighting knife from K-Bar, except for in the flipper version, and that's exactly what he was going for. Titanium, frame lock handle, a massive hollow ground blade, so you're looking at a very slicey but very thick and beefy knife that could do some pry bar work, some chopping, hand-to-hand fighting if you need to, because it's a USMC fighting flipper. A beautiful knife all the way around, fantastic. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. There's one thing about it. You separate the art from the artisan, and Medford knives are so good. They're so nice. They're so well built. They're tanks. I mean, his knives are tanks. Any Medford I've ever seen or held is a tank. It is made so extremely well. You know, it is what it is. The art itself is just on another level, and I appreciate the art so daggone much. And this is art. This is craftsmanship. It's tools, but it's also art. Just look at that. Wow, what a great knife. That is beautiful, and I love it. Love it. All right, only got a couple more knives to show you. Let's look at this. This is the Rockstead Shin. This thing is fantastic. Look at that mirror finish. Oh, now this has got aluminum handles, but it's a special process where they harden the aluminum to make it really super hard and abrasive resistant. It's got a good coating on it, a special coating that they use, again, to give it an abrasive resistance. They give the blade and also a special DLC coating that makes it scratch resistant. I actually saw, who was it? Metal Complex took I think it was a knife blade or something like that. He took the edge and he scratched it back and forth, and it didn't scratch it, and it still looked like it does here. Now, I'm not going to do that. No way. But look at that. Now, I watched his video where he talked about his shin, and somebody asked him what knife he has the best edge retention, or what knife had the best, I think that's what it was, what knife had the best edge retention. And he said, what knife is the best performer and holds its edge the longest is without a doubt the Shin, because of the way the convex grind is, the way that they use the coating on this, the heat treat, and the blade steel. Now, there's another Shin that's not the blacked out blade that has a VG10 core. And It is or maybe the VG10 is on the outside and it's got a different core, but it uses a VG10 along with its super premium blade steel. This don't. This Shin with the black blade, where'd that daggone piece of paper go? This has, where did it go? Oh, right here it is. YXR7 blade steel. That's a powder steel, I'm sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. But regardless, you want another knife that's a work of art. The ergonomics are fantastic. This is a knife that you could use. You could beat on and it's going to hold up well. What a beauty. The Rockstead Shin is fantastic. All right, so the last knife I've got two knives. I got two knives here. The last two knives I'm going to show you. This one right here is the first one. This is the Grimsmo Norseman. It's hard to put these two knives into words. That's why I saved them for the end. First of all, look at that blade. Look at that blade. Look at that grind work. Look at that handle. It is a frame lock. It's RWL 34 blade steel, which is a powder steel. Where I think it was big in Poland, I think it is, where that was really big for a long time. I could be wrong. This is another one where the action is so good, it's hard to put it into words. Not only is this a beautiful work of art, the action is fantastic. It has excellent blade steel. I'm telling you right now, the Norseman is definitely a knife that everybody needs to check out. It's a very thin, low profile knife, but it's got some width here, but it's thin this way. Good jimped thumb ramp. Feels good in the hand, good ergonomics, but that blade work and that grind, oh, that recurve to that blade, oh man, that is just so sweet. Look at that. That's the kind of action this has. Just great. The Grimsmo Norseman. I love this knife. But this is definitely the prettiest of all of them. The Null Vandal. Now this is, he created, I think it was 50 of them that he done for the launch. It might not have been 50. It might have been less. But there was the launch editions. There were the special editions, exclusives. When he was launching the Vandal, the Null Knives Vandal, he done the special edition launch edition variants. And that's what this is. It has damaged steel blade, hollow grind, so it's super slicey, extremely razor, hair popping sharp. I mean, daggone, that's so sharp. I just can't cut paper. That's just all there is to it, guys. I just can't cut paper. Hair popping sharp. It is beautiful. Look at that handle. Look at that purple. Titanium. Frame lock. It's kind of a liner lock, kind of a frame lock. Look at those thumb studs. Look at those fullers. Look at the craftsmanship, the artisanry. That jimping. Look at that knife. Is that not beautiful? Definitely the prettiest knife of all of them, in my opinion. Why I saved this one for last. But it is something else. Apologies for the boys in the background. You guys know how it is. It's Sunday, so they're going to school in the morning, so they're all stoked up and excited. Spending the last few hours of their weekend. But here you go. That is it. But you know what? These are just some knives that I wanted to show you guys because Ken mentioned that he's all about the heat, because he's just in his knife journey. He's passed a lot of the budget knives and the lower end knives, and I completely understand that. I appreciate Ken and where he's at. I want to get there. Well, first of all, I have a channel, so I'm kind of, always going to be here because I want to show the different knives that different people want and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, that is an amazing pile of knives, and this has been an amazing daggone year. Now, these are on another level, though. And I just wanted to show them to you. I didn't want to show a lot of these yesterday because I didn't want to seem like I was boasting or bragging that I could show these off and stuff. But I know that people do enjoy these and people want to see them. And I appreciate, Ken, you saying what you did and wanting to see these types of knives. So there you go. Guys, I'm Chris, I'm Professional Dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives. And I will see you in the next video.